Hello, friends. This is the Nope Coach podcast, episode 292, The Conqueror Challenges. I'm your host, Suzanne Kohlberg. So, just over a year ago, I started doing these Conqueror Challenges, and they've been coming up in my news feed for months. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm a bit cynical when I see sponsored ads. It's like, is this like a legit thing or is it just some skeezy internet scam? I think that's a legitimate way, perhaps not as cynical as we may think, given how many scams there are. But anyway, eventually I acquiesced and bought my first challenge. And in the time since then, I've done over a dozen. I highly recommend, and I thought I would do a whole episode about them today. So there are different types of challenges. There are places. So you could walk, obviously, you walk virtually, the pyramids, the Amazon, the Great Barrier Reef, like locations around the world. There are also like fantasy ones, like there's Lord of the Rings challenges, there's Game of Thrones challenges, and then there's like the annual challenge. So just arrived in the mail. So I did the 2023, I did the annual challenge. And here is the medal. It's absolutely stunning. So with this one, you set your own distance. So that's the front, that is the back, and then you could wear it. My kids often are wearing them, and they're absolutely glorious. And the reason I love these so much is not only do you get the actual medal, which is pretty, and they're actually quite heavy and lovely, but the motivation. So they have an app on the phone when you sign up. They also have, if you so choose, a Facebook group associated with it, which has hundreds of thousands of people, and you can go in there and chat and post and share, if you want to. But the thing I really love is with the app, each day you can track your distance however you choose to exercise. I primarily walk, but you could, if you cycle, you can manually enter a cycle distance, a swimming distance, if you do dancing, rock climbing, whatever. They have a conversion chart, however many minutes this activity equates to however much distance that you can use. Originally, when I first started, I didn't have I now have a Fitbit, but I just use my phone because whenever I walked, I usually listen to podcasts. I have my phone with me. And in the phone, at least an Apple iPhone, there is a health part that can track your distance. So that can sync to the Conqueror app and automatically upload your distance each day. So you don't need to measure it. So I did that for about 3 or 4 months. And then I upgraded to a Fitbit. Now, in the past, I'd had a Fitbit and I had a very unhealthy relationship with it. I remember I would get to the end of the day and I hadn't yet made my step count. So I'd walk laps of my lounge room at like 10 p.m. at night to make my step count and everything. So, full transparency, I was very hesitant to go down the Fitbit path again because, as I said, I'd had an unhealthy relationship with a Fitbit over a decade ago before I became a mum. But what I love is the Fitbit syncs to the phone, which syncs to the app, which automatically updates. So I don't need to add my distances in each day because I'm inherently lazy or efficient, whichever way you want to look at it. So it automatically puts that in there for me. And then you can set, based on the challenge, how long you assume it will take you. And then it shows a little map how you're tracking. So right now, if you haven't been following along this podcast before, I burnt myself 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago, quite seriously, nasty second-degree burn. So I haven't been walking, understandably. It's because on my leg where the burn is. So when I went into the Conqueror app just before I hit record on this show, I was like, oh man, because it shows you, predicted time, predicted distance. It's like, yeah, I'm like way behind. You can, if you so choose, update it so that you give yourself a longer leeway. Or you can, like I always, because I'm doing the annual challenge, like this one for me represented originally when I set the goal last year, it was 2,700 steps. No, kilometers, not steps, in a year. Goodness woman. 2,700 kilometers was my goal for the year. Then when we got into December, I realized that I wasn't going to make it. So I adjusted my goal down and ended up doing 2,350 steps. So I was 350 kilometers short of my original goal. But still, over a year, I was so impressed with myself. And so this year, I've once again set the goal of 2,700 kilometers. I don't know if we'll make it. This burn has set me back a couple of weeks, but there's still plenty of time. So it gives you a chance to, check in with yourself, to stretch yourself, to push yourself, but not beyond your limits. And yeah, the app is really pretty. It's easy to navigate. There's milestones. They also have a whole section on the environment. So you can choose every 20% of your journey. Do you want them to plant trees, or do you want them to clear plastic bottles out of the water? Like, there is so much to recommend about the Conqueror challenges. And yeah, there's other ones as well. I'm sure there's a dime a dozen once something comes up. But I really like this one. The quality of the metal's great. The app's easy to use. So if that's something that's, been on your radar, I highly encourage you to check it out. I am an affiliate, I will be honest. So I'll drop my link in the episode description and on the YouTube. If you sign up with that, I don't get any money, but what I do get is free challenges. So that's the other thing. If you like it and enjoy it and become an ambassador and share it with your friends, then when people sign up, after a certain number of signups happen, then you get free challenges. My kids have just gotten home from school. I can hear I can hear the screaming in a good way, laughing. So I'm going to use this as a chance to wrap up. I know my mic's pretty good, so it'll be interesting to hear on the replay if you can hear that coming through. But my guess is they're having a Casimir went to a birthday party yesterday, and when we wrapped the gift, we got to the end of the roll of the wrapping paper, and so him and Xanthi have been having a dual fencing with wrapping paper rolls. So I bet you they've got him from school, picked those up, and immediately gone back to round 600 of this jewel. So I'm gonna better go and break that up. But all of this to say, Conqueror challenges, highly recommend it. If you do join and it's your first time and you use the code in the description, you'll get 10% off. And then what I'll get is, depending when people join, free challenges. So it's a win-win. And it's something you could do with friends, family, your workplace. When you buy your first challenge, then after that you can get your own affiliate link, which you can share with people. So yeah, I think I've done over a dozen now. Highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now.